Welcome to the Be Magnetic podcast. I'm your host Tara, energetic strategist, psychic medium, and your guide to a life and business that feels like a full body fuck yes. If you're ready to move beyond success and step into true peace, pleasure, and prosperity, this podcast is for you. Get ready for unfiltered stories, mindset shifts, and real strategies that will empower you to live and lead with your heart. Together, we'll unlock your highest potential, expand deeply rooted abundance, and shift into soul-led success without sacrificing your authenticity, joy, peace, or freedom. So take a moment, settle in, feel the energy shift, and let's dive into the magic that awaits. Hi, and welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to your May pick-up pile reading, your energetic forecast for the month of May. I'm really excited to dive into this with you. Again, we have the same structure as always. We discuss the theme of the month first, then we go into the numerology and the archetypal energy of May. We will do a pick your path reading where I will again outline 2 different paths that you can choose which one intuitively speaks the most to you. So just maybe from the definition that I'll share which one resonates the most with you, or just intuitively pick maybe the number or just feel into it for a moment. You can again skip the one that you didn't feel resonated with you by just clicking the timestamps in the show notes. And then we will within that dive into both your personal forecast for the month and then the business forecast for the month. And we will end all together with just embodying the energy by just outlining a couple journaling prompts that you can journal later today or tomorrow or the next few days to just really integrate and lean into everything that is gonna come through to you in today's podcast episode. So that being said, let's dive into the theme of the month. So I've rolled the astrodices and we have the sun in Aries in the 8th house. So what that basically means for the overall theme and energy of the month of May means that there's a lot of creativity, self-expression, healthy ego energy, combined also with just everything that we're starting new, right? So you're being invited to lean into creativity in all the areas where you maybe feel like there is a fresh start, or where you maybe feel like you want it to start something new or have a different approach to things. Or even, the 8th house is very connected to just death and rebirth and like just transformation, shifts, like everything that is got to do with like spirituality, magic, like the secret kind of area. So if you're invited to integrate some more confidence, creativity, healthy self-expression in all the things, the shadows that you've maybe been hiding away, or just the areas where you feel like, okay, there's maybe a rebirth needed. Like there is some Aries energy coming through where you're being invited to just take action, to start fresh, to really lean into like letting go the shadows, letting go the old, and like really actively leaning into the transformation. There is a lot of transformation coming through in May, and you're being invited to really embrace that with creativity and with a big fucking yes. I'm ready for this. I've been waiting for this. This is the new start, the spring energy that I've been waiting for. There's also going to be a lot of just healthy release and like good like release when it comes to like the shadows and the secrets and everything, and that is also being invited to like come forth and be shown to the world, but in like a healthy way. So it's okay to express yourself, it's okay to forge ahead, to like take on leadership, to get some of that like masculine energy in like taking an active part in the transformation that's unfolding this month. Yeah, that is the energy of the overall theme of the month. So healthy expression, creativity, and leadership when it comes to your own personal transformation and expressing all that wants and feels it needs to be expressed. So the numerology of May is 5. So May is a month of 5, which the 5 stands all about freedom and adventure and adaptability and personal growth, which, by the way, fits perfectly into the theme of the month, where again we have this sense of you're being invited to really look at, okay, what is my relationship with freedom? What does freedom even mean to me? Where in my life do I maybe want to have a bit more freedom? And in what way does that freedom want to manifest? Is it that I want to have more time or more money, or is it just, freedom to be able to do whatever I want to do, like freedom basically? There's also the invitation to pursue more adventure, or just ask yourself, where in my life do I want to have a bit more adventure, a bit more exciting energy, a bit more creativity, a bit more like a fresh start, like spring energy, right? Where in my life do I want that? And then, finding ways to implement that into those areas of your life. You're also being asked to be adaptable. Whenever there is maybe something coming up that is a little bit unpleasant, or there's been a change, or something that's not been foreseeable, there's been a big transition that you move through that you maybe didn't see coming, like, be adaptable. It's okay, right? This is just the beginning of the journey, which this Aries energy shows us. It's just the beginning of the journey. And we're allowed to just still adjust and to, let that be a work in progress kind of thing. There's also going to be a lot of personal growth. So again, anything that comes up around that personal transition that you're moving through in May, or even, the shadows that come up, the secrets, the desires, anything that really comes up around that, allow it to be the catalyst for your personal growth. Lean into that, allow that, right? So that is the numerology. May is a time to embrace change, to take bold risks again, like Aries, like lean into forging your path, and expand your horizon, right? Lean into maybe a bit more spirituality, or a bit more self-expression, or a bit more creativity, or a bit more boldness and like fun. Whatever you feel called to lean into more, that you feel like that's going to expand me on a personal level, that is what you're being invited to in this month. The archetype that I want to connect with this energy to help you understand and harness it better is the Fool. While the Fool is not technically got the number 5 in tarot, it's still just very related to this whole energy of freedom, adventure, adaptability, and personal growth, right? Because if we think about it, and even like very aligned with the energy, like with theme of the month, of the energy of and like, if you tap into the energy of the Fool, right, he's got this, or she's got this characteristic of, he's embarking on this beautiful new journey of personal growth, of self-expression, of finding himself and his path, right? And he's very free still, like he's an unwritten book. He doesn't know fully who he is. He can fully be anyone he wants to be and do anything he wants to do. And he's got this very much so deep desire for adventure, to explore, to go out there and to grow and to find out who he is and what this journey holds for him. And I invite you to lean into that kind of energy a bit more this month, where you're really starting to look at this journey, whether you've been on it for a while, or whether you want like a total 180 on this whole thing and you want to start something entirely fresh, go on a different path. Both is fine. I want you to approach it from this energy of like, so excited to do this. This is going to be the best thing. And I'm going to be just open and receptive for everything that is gonna come my way on this journey. I'm going to express myself and my needs in a healthy way. I'm gonna be creative when it comes to resolving the challenges that come on my way. I'm gonna be brave and gonna jump off the cliff, even though I maybe not fully know what that holds for me. Just that kind of energy, right? Tap into the Fool to really be able to expand on the numerology, the overall energy of May. That's going to serve you so well. And it's also going to, like, how exciting to start summer with that energy of like, I'm going to just go. I'm just going to go for it and like have the best time of my life. That is the seed that I'm planting for you guys for May. So let's get into the personal picker pile reading. So again, we have 2 pathways. I really like the ones that we had the last couple times, so we'll stick with those. We have on the first pathway the strategic achiever, which is the woman who is deeply rooted in strategy, guided by logic, motivated, and willpower. So if you're a very strategic person, very much so in your masculine, if you maybe, also the generators, the money gens within you, that is a beautiful path for you. The pathway 2 is the aligned intuitive, the woman who is aware of her energetic blocks and in tune with what she needs to work on. And that can maybe also relate to the projectors and the reflectors and all of those, or even maybe you can also look at those pathways not from who you are most, but who you want to be. So either way, whatever pathway resonates most with you, number 1 or number 2, I want you to take a second and pick yours. Now you can just press pause for a second until you feel like you've got the answer, but your intuition will speak probably pretty quickly and you probably already know which pathway you want to look into. So again, I will start with pathway 1, the strategic high achiever, and then I will follow with the aligned intuitive, pathway 2. So if you've picked pathway 2, you can just skip ahead through the show notes where I've linked the timestamps. Okay, let's look into your business first. My strategic high achievers group number 1. Okay, so what does May hold for your career? So it feels like you're going to reap a lot of fruit. So there's been a lot of hard work or just dedication, not necessarily hard work, but like dedication that you've poured into your business, into your career over the last months. And you're now able to see the fruits and reap them. So there's going to be lots of opportunities for you coming up in May that will lead to abundance, but that will also just lead to more freedom and to a more like a fuller cup when it comes to how you feel in your career and your business. So you're being invited to really have fun to reap those. So it's not about like putting pressure on you to reap those opportunities, those fruits, but rather like I want you to approach this from the perspective of how cool is it that I get to pick this fruit? How cool is it that I get to pick another fruit? How cool is it that my basket is like growing and growing and growing from all these fruits? And I want you to really have fun and like approach this reaping with like a playful energy, because the more fun you bring to this whole thing, the more appreciative and excited you are about all these amazing fruits, whether they're small or big. The more excited you are, the more expensive this whole experience is gonna get. Okay, you're also being invited to really celebrate and to like make this the biggest party you've ever had for yourself. So invite your friends, like go out and share those big successes, not in a braggy kind of way, but just to like celebrate life and celebrate all the opportunities that come from the hard work that you've been putting into, right? Like be creative, invite beautiful ways to express, to dance, to celebrate these opportunities, right? Also lean into how much freedom they allow you to feel, right? Whether that is the literal freedom of maybe they give you more time or they provide you with more money, but also just the freedom of the knowing that you can actually manifest your desires, and the work that you put in, the dedication, the seeds that you're planting, they're actually growing. And like, how cool is that? Okay, so there's a lot of abundant energy coming through for you in May. It almost seems like it's everywhere around you, the opportunities and the abundance. But you got to make sure also that you're not losing it in a way, in the sense of like you're missing the opportunities because you're so focused on them now and you're expecting them so much that you're actually missing them. So it's less about getting so obsessed with now all the opportunities that come your way, but rather, like I said, just approach the month with, when it comes to business, in a celebratory way, in a way of like, I'm gonna go on this adventure, I'm gonna have the best time of my life, and I'm gonna just pick everything on the way that presents itself, but also release everything that I maybe expected but that didn't want to come through, or that wasn't maybe necessary to come through because it was, after all, not really the opportunity that needed to happen. And then when it comes to your business, there's also this energy of like, you're getting so close to achieving the stability and the safety and the adventure, like the state in your business of ease, of stability that you've been waiting for. So there is a few more steps to do, but May is like such a big milestone on this journey. And yeah, you're getting so close to that, and that is something worth celebrating. So you're being invited to, when it comes to your business, to your career, to embrace everything, like all the opportunities, all the things that come your way, and allow yourself to be the vessel. Like, you are literally the vessel. All this abundance, all the clients, all the success is pouring into. So embrace that. Remember your nature. Remember who you are deep down inside, which is the vessel, which is the container that all that gets to pour into. And allow yourself to really sit within that energy of like, I am the vessel. I am this powerful, magical being that naturally receives all these opportunities, all this abundance, because that is my nature. I am the vessel, the money, the abundance, the opportunity, all that wants to pour into me. And then also you're being invited, when it comes to your career, to lean into the aspects of yourself as the business owner, as the service provider, as the leader, the aspects that you haven't tapped into so much yet. There is untapped wisdom, there is untapped magic, untapped power that you're being invited to reveal. There's keys to your destiny, keys to fulfilling your full potential that you are yet to discover. So I feel like that fits perfectly to the Knight of Pentacles that came through earlier. While you're being on this journey to fulfilling that complete vision that you hold for your business, while you're discovering all these opportunities, remember that you will also discover the keys that will allow you to unlock your full potential. While the fruits that you're collecting might be monetarily reasons or other opportunities that will make you money, there'll be also plenty of opportunities that will reveal keys to you fulfilling your potentials. I feel like that might show up differently to every one of you, depending on where you are in your journey and the work that you've put in before, but there'll be keys coming through. So that is a powerful message for your May. So excited for you. So let's see what your personal life holds for you. And okay, so there is also a lot of magic coming through. You've got the star, which basically means there is, again, also a lot of potential coming through, and you're being invited to really reach for the star. So anything that is feeling like is a desire that you've had that you haven't allowed yourself to pursue for a while, go after it. Like reach for, like write down a definition, a vision for your personal life that feels like you're reaching for the stars, that feels like too good to be true, and expect things to come through, right? Expect the stars to shine brighter and brighter when the more you're energetically or physically pouring into those visions. There's also an invitation for you to approach your personal life a bit more with this freedom and like adventure kind of full energy, where maybe your personal life has felt a little bit stagnant, a little bit dull, a little bit forced or like heavy. And that's okay. You're being invited to bring that fresh new energy in, to bring a bit more freedom, a bit more adventure in. And you're being invited to also look at, okay, what are some ways in which I can take on a beginner's mindset again in my personal life. And then you're also being invited to firstly let down your guard. So stop fighting against the things that are meant to be. So maybe there's certain aspects that are happening in your personal life that you're still resisting towards. The invitation is to stop resisting that, to stop fighting what is meant to be or not be for that reason, to accept it. And that might be hard, but it will at the end bring you more of that freedom, more of that joyful energy, and it's gonna lead you to places that are so much better than how things are right now. But it's also inviting you to take on that active creator power, right? So you've got the power to lean into creating your future. So whenever there's something that you're not happy about in your personal life, or that you feel like you want in your personal life as an expansion, you're being invited to tap into your intuition more and allow that to come through, right? Allow yourself to pursue that, to go after that, to plant the seeds. Okay, there's also an invitation to rest and to contemplate. So maybe again, like sit with the desires that you have for your personal life. What are the stars that you're aiming for? What is this big picture vision for your personal life that you're wanting to aim for moving forward, that you're wanting to create? Contemplate whether the things in your personal life are the way that you want them to be or not. Contemplate where there needs to be some more freedom, some more lightness, adventure. Contemplate where you can maybe be a bit more proactive or a bit less pushy, right? But most of all, give yourself time to take a step back from being so involved in it and like have the bigger picture point of view on it. And then plant the seeds. Plant the seeds for the vision that you hold for your personal life moving forward. Set the intentions and pursue it with optimism. After all, the energy of May is super positive, so, and like beneficial in the favor. Like there's a lot of, like we said, personal growth on your way. There's a lot of invitation to you expressing yourself. So plant the seeds, express your needs, and then pursue them with optimism. Know that the death that you're going through, that transformation that you're going through right now, is the stepping stone for a beautiful alchemy where those new seeds that you're planting are going to be growing, and then eventually you get to wake up in that reality. Perfect. So that has been your reading, group number 1. Make sure to skip ahead to the end so we can do together the journaling prompts to embody all of that. Okay, group number 2. Okay, my group number 2. Let's look at your business energy for May and what wants to come through. Okay, so it feels like you're setting out on new waters. So the dreams, the vision that you held for your business that you've been looking towards for so long, it is finally getting closer, and it requires just like one last step from you, one last jump into the ocean and a bit more paddling there so you can then catch that wave. You can already see those opportunities coming, the vision unfolding, but again, you're being invited this month to take the leap, to go forward, to go after it, to be proactive, and to not be afraid. So release the fear that you hold towards moving the things that you're deeply desiring in your business. Because I feel like in 3 months from now, when you have fully done that, when you've taken the leap, when you've ridden the wave, then things will unfold beautifully. So I do hear that maybe in 3 to 4 months from now, there'll be a lot of beautiful things manifesting from the leap that you're taking and the opportunities that you're pursuing now. Have the courage to do the thing. Okay, this came through for the other group as well. I feel like it is very tied to just the overall energy of month, but you're being invited to celebrate, to pursue the fun that is going to make it easier for you to take the leap and to jump and to go after that. There's a lot of like action related energy for you this month where you're both invited to take the practical action and to like actually do the thing that you know is going to get you there, but also have a lot of fun, like take a lot of action on just celebrating life and celebrating your success and celebrating your business and where you are and how things are. There's also a lot of like fiery energy, so it's going to be passionate, right? The main message I guess for you here is anything that you can do in May that is connected to your passion, that lights a fire within you, that makes you go like, yes, I've always wanted to do this. This feels so right. This feels so aligned. This feels so good. Like, go after that. Do these things. And then be patient, right? Sometimes, especially now that we are moving into somewhat like the second quarter, like third quarter of the year, we kind of get into this mindset of like, we've already worked so hard these last few months, things should happen now, right? And so we put this pressure on ourselves to be at a place that we thought we would be, that we thought we get to by taking the actions and doing the things that we did the months prior. And you will get there. But it does require just a little bit more patience. It does require just a little bit more nurturing. And the way in which you can make this easier for you is to really lean into the celebrate energy of like, stop focusing so hard on the stuff that you're doing and the work that is necessary, and rather ask yourself, how can I make this fun? How can I do the things for the things and not for the outcome? How can I have the most fun riding these waves and just ride them because I know enjoy riding them, not because I know they're going to take me to a better level of surfing, right? How can you learn to find joy in the nurturing of the seeds that you've planted? How can you allow yourself to see that all that you put into and that you have put into has already led to growing? How can you see the growth already, right? So that is the main message. Let's see what else wants to come through for you in relation to your business in May. Okay, so you're also invited to lean into your sacred sexuality. So connect with your senses, connect with your desires, connect with your femininity. So while you might feel like that might not be directly correlated to business, you're being invited to let go of the grip, let go of the micromanaging, let go of the everything that feels heavy and it feels like I'm not there yet, or it needs to be differently, right? This I don't know, this pent up like sexual energy in a way. You're being invited to release that from the business, from you as a business owner, so that you can welcome this desire, this anticipation, this already, like, this is going to feel so good. Like that kind of energy, right? I don't find better words to describe it. It's just like very much so the state of when you're, you know, this energy when you're feeling like you've got so much pent up energy that it just needs to release and it's like stuck in there. That's kind of the feeling that I get, where you're being invited to release that, and it's going to come from like leaning into your sexuality, maybe even getting intimate a bit more, right? Or dancing, right? Moving your body, like surfing, like going into the water, go for a swim, like do things like that get your body moving in a way to like release that stuck energy, so that you can come back to a being fully in tune with your body, being fully in tune with your own energy, because that's then again going to nurture your opportunities and the vision that you hold for your business in a better way. And then you are also being invited to lean into this full rebirth energy that is already so present in May in your business specifically. So in May, you are encountering a deep opportunity for transformation when it comes to your business. So I am really asking you to contemplate, what does the next chapter of my business look like? You're on this transition point where you're getting closer to the vision, but it seems like almost maybe that's not exactly what you want, and you've worked towards slightly a different vision that is way more aligned, that you're moving closer to, that you're nurturing, that you're already seeing some kind of leaves grow on, but you're being invited to fully go for it and fully allow that transformation to happen, and also allow that alchemy of that energy to happen, right? Allow that stuck pent up energy like to leave and welcome this new aligned, beautiful, yummy energy to come in, right? Okay, so that has been your business. There's a lot of energetic release, a lot of new fresh energy and opportunity coming with that in your business. So I feel like what you're going to do for your personal life this month is going to be very, very relevant for your business, and the way you're nurturing yourself and the way you're leaning into clearing and cleansing your energy, it's going to be so relevant for your business this month. And sometimes that's how things are, right? As the business owner, the things that we do for our business, for us personally, are very connected to the results that we see in our business, just because we are the business owners, right? So that is kind of what I feel for you for this month. Let's look at your personal life. So there is a lot of confidence, a lot of healthy leadership, but not like restrained. I'm forcing things to happen. So when it comes to like your personal life goals, your relationships, you're being on a really good path to just find a healthy balance between, I am taking an active role in designing my vision, but also I know when to take a step back and when to allow the people around me or the universe to step in and provide for me. Whenever, or for all the things in your personal life, or all the areas that you feel like you're maybe picking ahead and not really reaching the seed, you're being invited to just let that be for a second, maybe do something else. So maybe I feel like there's some areas for you where you've been working on getting somewhere for quite some time now, and you haven't really gotten there, and it feels frustrating and it feels difficult and hard. And you're being invited to just let that be for a second. Oftentimes, when we allow ourselves to just sit with that, let that be for a second, things will reshuffle usually and we get there quicker. Things will just resolve. So instead of like focusing on all the things that don't work or all the difficulties and the challenges and the stones that are being put in your way in the moment in your personal life, why don't you just lean into community, into hanging out with your friends, into celebrating, into really fully enjoying life. There's always things that we work on, that we want to improve, that don't fully go our way. Even if we live the most exciting version of our personal life, there's always something that has room for improvement. And when we focus on that, we get frustrated. And we miss out on the beautiful things that we actually have to celebrate. And so that is the core message here for you, where you're like, despite of what is not working for you in your personal life or what you feel like needs improvement, put that to the side for a second and like focus on all the stuff that you have to celebrate. Focus on all the, like, how far you've come when it comes to the abundance. Focus on bringing some more lightness, some more, like, less serious energy to everything that has to do with your home life, your material world. Bring some of that positivity back and invite some change into what you focus on and what you spend your energy on. Maybe focus on a different area of your personal life that you nurture in May, that has a bigger return of investment, or that just naturally feels easier or is more fun to engage in. And then later, like, focus on the areas that felt a little bit heavier. Also, create clarity, right? Create clarity around why you've been feeling like you're stuck or not moving forward in the way, or create clarity around why these challenges arise and what is maybe the reason for this shift that you're being invited to do in May. And then allow for some time and for some space for things to, again, like, alchemize, right? Because often when we focus on something, we want something so badly, or when we're so stuck on something or something feels so heavy and we just pour more energy into it, it just expands. It just gets bigger and bigger. But when we let something there lay around, then usually nature will do its thing to alchemize it, to make out of a piece of wood soil so there can grow a new tree, right? So that is the message for your personal life that you are being invited to lean into. Allow yourself to focus on the areas of your life that feel light, that feel exciting, that you feel like you can do, like you're making progress, or you just have a lot of fun doing it. Bring some lightness, some positivity, some change into your home life, into everything that has to do with your material world, with your physical home. And create clarity on what felt hard and allow that to be alchemized. Well, that's been your message for this month of May. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's get into the last part, which is to give you 5 journaling prompts to harness and embody this energy of May. So the first journaling prompt that I want you to journal on over the next few days is, what in my life needs more freedom and more adventure, more positive energy, more self-expression, right? What in my life needs more freedom? That's the first thing that I want you to journal on. The second thing is, what in my life felt heavy? Where in my life did I maybe feel like a transition is approaching, change is needed? So where in your life have you felt there is some change necessary? And why is that necessary in this area of your life? The third journaling prompt that I want you to consider answering is, how can you bring more creativity and healthy self-expression? What parts of you do want to be expressed? What parts of you do want to be more creative? And how can you give that to yourself? The fourth journaling prompt is that I want you to journal on is, how can I celebrate life a little bit more? What are some things, big or small, in my life that I haven't celebrated yet, but really truly want to celebrate this month? And how am I gonna celebrate these things? And then the fifth journaling prompt is, how can I more actively design the vision I hold for my future? What can I do? Who do I need to be? What energy do I need to bring to the day to play a more active and conscious path in designing my future? Amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to screenshot this, tag me, and share your biggest takeaway. I would love to hear from all of you. what you are looking forward to the most in May, and what you maybe didn't expect to hear, something that surprised you maybe. Whatever you want to share, let me know. Screenshot this, tag me, and let me know. And without further ado, I hope you have the most amazing month, and I see you in the next episode. Before I forget, you can also tune into last week's personal update, which might be really fun for you since I've caught you up on everything that has happened in the last couple months of my life. And I think one other episode that you will really enjoy is the episode that's titled Grow Your Business with Intuition Self-Trust, since that is leaning a lot into how we can bring some of that flow, some of that celebration and feminine energy to growing our business, which I believe is going to be helpful for both groups today, whether you chose group 1 or group 2 for the pick a pile reading. So make sure to tune into those. I will link them in the show notes below as well. And now, really, goodbye and until next Wednesday. Thank you for hanging out with me. It was a blast. If you're new here, then make sure to subscribe to the show to not miss any new episodes. And if you haven't done so, please feel free to give the show a 5-star rating. This means the absolute world to me, since it helps the show to grow and allows me to bring more incredible guests and episodes your way. With that being said, until next time,